When Evelyn inherited her aunt's old house on the edge of town, everyone told her to tear it down. The house had been vacant for years, wrapped in vines and rumors. People said her Aunt Clara had gone mad inside it, locking herself away in a room upstairs that no one ever saw. But Evelyn had always liked the strange and the forgotten, and the house, creaking and cold, spoke to her in a way modern apartments never could. She moved in during early autumn. The house was mostly ordinary, dusty, rotting in places. But there was one room upstairs that wouldn't open. It wasn't locked. There was no keyhole, but the knob turned loosely in her hand as though it wasn't connected to anything. She could see a sliver of darkness through the doorframe, but no matter how hard she pushed, it wouldn't budge. Not even a millimeter. She tried everything: brute force, screwdrivers, even calling a locksmith. Nothing worked. The man left with a pale face and a muttered, "Some things ain't meant to open." So Evelyn left it alone. For a while. But the sound started in the second week, whispering, faint just as she was falling asleep. Not voices exactly. More like breathing that carried a rhythm, like speech. She'd sit up in bed, and the sound would stop. On the ninth night, she heard scratching from the locked room. It was slow at first, like someone dragging fingernails across wood. Then more urgent, desperate. The next morning, the hallway outside the door smelled like rust and wet earth. She started dreaming about the room, never inside it, always standing just beyond the door, hearing someone whisper her name over and over. On the 15th night, she placed a glass of water outside the door. A test. When she woke the next morning, it was gone. In its place, a single fingernail, long and cracked, still wet at the root. She called a priest. He came, listened, and prayed in every room, except that one. He wouldn't go near it. "She's not trapped," he said before leaving. "She's waiting." Evelyn tried to move out, but the house wouldn't let her. She packed her things, but each morning she'd wake up in her bed, the boxes empty again. Her phone stopped working. The front door wouldn't open, and none of the windows broke no matter how hard she struck them. And every night the whispers grew louder. Sometimes they weren't coming from the door, but from right behind her. On the 22nd night, the door finally opened on its own. It made no sound, just silently swung inward as she walked past. Inside was a narrow room with no windows and walls covered in mirrors, none of which reflected her. In the center sat a single chair, facing away. Evelyn stepped in. The door shut behind her. No one ever saw her again. But some nights, if you walk by the old house,